Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back again. This is the Cigar Lounge. I am your host at JW King. And this is Drink Champ Friday. Well, Drunk Champ Friday. Well, we sit here and we talk shit. And, you know, if you out there, please subscribe to the channel. If you watching, you know what I'm saying? Uh, this is Drunk Champ Friday. What up, Brent?
What's up, man? You know what it is. We just producing more and more content for the people, man. I thought yesterday was a pretty fun show. We were really getting and diving into the politics of what's going on in America, and we've been having fun on Clubhouse and all the other spaces we're on. So once again, I just encourage people to follow the movement, the Sexy Cigar Lounge podcast on all social media platforms. This is our backup channel. So do us a favor and subscribe to this channel as well. So just in case, we have to switch up real quick, you can find us. And we appreciate the support. I don't know if we say that enough, but we appreciate all the support from our subscribers, and tell your friends and family to join the movement. And I think they appreciate that they did. They will I think they won't regret it. So
For sure.
yeah, I'm on that drink, man. So excuse me. So
I
yeah.
am too. I am
So
too.
yeah, I'm ready to get to it, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm on that Uncle Uncle
Yeah.
Uncle Ernest, man.
Uncle Ernest, yours.
Yeah, man. I'm on Uncle Nears, bro.
Yeah.
Uh Drew, what up, my guy?
Hey, what up? What up, man? What's going on, gang? Hey, got in for a treat tonight, man. We got another one. Like Brent said, man, support the movement. Um, we also got merch, man. We got hats, we got beanies, baseball cap. So hit JJ up at JW King on Instagram, man, to get your merch.
For
Uh,
sure.
I'm looking forward to tonight's show. Follow us on all social media platforms at the Six Cigar Lounge. Let's get it, y'all.
For sure, man. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe. Everybody that's watching right now, subscribe. Everybody that's watching next week, subscribe. Everybody that's watching next month, subscribe. We're gonna keep having this thing going. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your brother and sister about it, man. Well, man, let's get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Casual Conversation Friday, man. What been going on this week in the news, man? Besides Uncle Trump, man, getting indicted, man. What y'all think about that?
Man, I
I
think
think
it.
it's BS.
Well, I think it's a
Go ahead, Brent.
distract. Yeah, I think it's a distraction. I think Trump. I'm pretty sure he's equipped with a legal team that could get him out way worse situations than this. So I think this is something to stir people up, and But I think when it comes, when the dust settle, I think he's gonna still be running. I don't know if he's gonna be old boy from Florida, but he's definitely gonna be in that mix. So you know, I don't see this slowing anything down or causing any interference with nothing.
Yeah, man. Uh, I'm just trying to figure out why the hell he messed with a chick that look like, you know what I'm saying, Patrick Swayze, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure Ivana, Ivana finna leave old Trump alone, man. She like, it's like that's enough of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because she seemed like she was tired of him doing his, you know what I'm saying, his tenure.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
she
saying?
wouldn't even
So
walk next to that man when they be walking, taking pictures. She wouldn't stand close to him. He trying to hold her hand. She'll move her hand. All types of stuff, bro. Trump a wild
I,
dude, man.
she probably already knew, bro. Like
Yeah.
he probably just disgusting, bro. He probably smelling on her and shit. You know what I'm saying? Breathing on her hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know all types of old disgusting shit, bro. don't y'all think that he that type of dude, man? You know what I'm saying? He want to pee on her. You know what I'm saying? Just
You know, women tend to think that, you know, being with a real powerful guy is all sunshine and roses, you know what I mean? But you talking about men who probably done really sour his royal oats, you know what I mean? He done had women, like the man runs pageants, you know, Miss Universe pageants and stuff like that. You don't think he done had a taste of all different type of flavors and, you know, nationalities and stuff like that? So when a man done had that type of access, I think his pervert meter goes up. You know what I mean? He wants something different now. He wants something, you know. He wants to see what them feet do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They ain't saying what that mouth is. It's like what those feet do. You know what I mean? He wants to see if she could do her toes like monkey claws. You know what I mean? And
man, you already know that man just probably done so much goddamn shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I just I don't know, bro. But anyway, man, enough about that guy, man. What else been going on, man?
man, I was looking at something and Charleston White, he said Larsa Pippen is like a 2006 Benz with 298,000 miles on it. Man, y'all believe that? He said, "Who wants a
I don't know,
Benz
bro.
with that many miles on
She
it?"
she said she was having what she said she was having sex 4 times a day. Was it
That kind of makes sense, bro. I mean, if you look at her, bro, she's pretty, but on the inside, bro, you know what I'm saying, she done been used and abused, bro.
As Michael Jordan's son, hearing her say publicly that she used to have sex with her ex-husband 4 times a day, that wouldn't come off as somewhat of a turn off to y'all, man. Like, I don't want to hear that shit, you know.
I don't feel like
Damn.
he looking at this long
Oh
term, bro.
yeah, this is just
It's just a fun
Yeah,
time.
like, bro, he looking at like, remember them old teachers, man, that was fine back in the day, and you just, you know what I'm saying, you like, all right, you know, when I get older, I'm gonna come back for her. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. So I mean, man, that man ain't trying to make nothing do what it do with this old
look.
chick, man.
I don't
You
even
know what I'm saying?
I don't even think that man 30 years old yet. So yeah, man, he just having fun, man. He just out here. Oh yeah, Miss Trinidad. That was exactly what I was gonna say. Miss Trinidad from Martin.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? She kind of remind you of Miss Trinidad, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Matter of fact, man, I had this one teacher, man, when I was in elementary school, man. No, not elementary school, junior high school, bro. Her name was Miss Cooper, man. Man, this lady was just like Miss Trinidad. And I always used to have perverted thoughts as a young kid with her, man. And she used to do things to make the young boys, you know what I'm saying, like be crazy about her, bro, because she was never mean to us, man. She'd always be, you know what I'm saying, hugging, hey baby, oh you so handsome, you know, all this other stuff, bro. So, but fast forward, bro, I got older, man. I seen Miss Cooper at a what that was at a it was some event that we had.
Did she when you seen her, JJ? Did she have the same allure on you that she had before, or did she look like a 2006 Mercedes Benz with a 298,000 miles on?
Now you know what, man? I was actually I was the prize, bro. Like in my mind, I was
Oh
the
yeah.
prize. You know what I'm saying? Like Miss Cooper want me now because I was in the military. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Working out, yoked up. You know what I'm saying? And man, she was on me, bro. She was on me, bro. And I kept calling her Miss Cooper, bro. And she got, she got mad at me. She got mad at me for calling her
Hey
Miss
JJ, in
Cooper.
the morning you will ask, "Hey Miss Cooper, you want some pancakes?"
Hey, no, hey Miss Cooper, you gotta go. Nah, 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 man. Shout out to Miss Cooper, man. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a cool person, man. But I don't know where she at these days, bro. But a lot of them dying off, man. You know what I'm saying?
Not dying though.
A lot of them died off, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I mean, I think Scottie Pippen is at a point now where he like, you know what? This chick wasn't nothing but an issue for me. Like, man, when a chick be an issue for you, bro, it's easy to let that go, man.
Yeah.
Uh, Shout out to Brent, man. Brent put something on our our Facebook group page. By the way, if you haven't visited that, go visit that. The Sexy Cigar Lounge on Facebook. Um, about a man's peace. You know what I'm saying? Um, Men want peace, and I thought that was an interesting video, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because men don't usually ask for a lot, but peace and
Yeah.
tranquility, especially when you get a certain age, man. Like, bro, you don't like you just don't have a lot of time for all of that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't the same, man. What y'all think about that?
Oh shit.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. When you get a certain age, that's all you want, bro. It's like top priority for real, for real. You don't be for all that rah rah, the drama, all that extra stuff, bro. You know what I'm
You
saying?
don't, bro.
Yo, like even when you go home, you just want it to be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? You don't need. I ain't trying to hear all that other stuff, bro. And then if you single nowadays, you want a woman that's gonna allow you to have that peace. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really trying to do all the, as Pimp C would say, all the lip wrestling. So you know what I'm saying? I just want to come home, chill, watch a
That's
movie
it.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
I don't need party. I don't go out unless it's somebody's birthday, bro. I'll be in the house. I don't even go out like that.
Right, right.
So it's very important when you get to a certain age.
And you know, man, a woman knows when you have a good man that ain't ain't out here running the streets and partying and stuff, bro. Like man, if your man busy and he trying to do something that's gonna catapult his life, his career, support that,
Yeah.
man. Support that because guess what? A man's focus is super important to you. As a woman, a man's focus on things is super important to you because if he's focused, that means he's trying to build. And if he's building and you with him, that means he gonna bring you with him. So support that man. The same way a man should support you. You know what I'm saying? If you in school or you got a business that you trying to, you know what I'm saying, get off the ground or you know, trying to catapult your career, if that man is supporting you, look at that as a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all agree, man?
Yeah, I agree. I think in today's climate, man, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but when you meet a woman, I know as men we want to be attracted to the women we date and have relationships with. But I think one thing we got to discern for harder than anything else, you got to make sure that woman is satisfied with the man that she has. that she doesn't have any expectations of what you doing tomorrow, the next day, the next year. You know what I mean? She's not constantly asking you what your next move gonna be to elevate y'all. She gotta be satisfied with the. I think that piece we're talking about is contingent on her being satisfied with the man she got. Now, if you know if that man independently, is making decisions. You know what? Next year, I'm aiming for this. This is what I want to do. This is where I see us at. His vision. If that's his vision, then that's fine. You know what I mean? The woman should support him and everything on getting there. But I think what's happening with a lot of women, they're hooking up with guys based off their vision. You know what I mean? And they're holding their man, the man that they're dating, up to their vision and how they see their, the lifestyle that they want to have. And I think that's what's creating so much contention for a lot of men out there, because the women just ain't satisfied with the guy she got. You know what I mean? She want him to be doing this and he need to be doing that, and all this other stuff. And I tell men, make sure that when you're dealing with a woman, make sure you discern to make sure that she's satisfied with the guy she got. Like, she's happy with the man that you are. And anything you do from here on is that's just you working in your purpose. You know what I mean? But you're not living up to her expectations and her vision of what she sees. She's just hiring you all based off what she expects for you to do. And I don't think that makes for
Right.
a good relationship. It seemed like there'd be a lot of contention in something like that.
Right. What do you think about that, Drew?
Nah, I agree. I agree with Brent said. I think um, if your woman is satisfied with the man that she had, you ain't gonna have no issues at all, bro.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we have issues because I was talking to my friend today, man. A lot of women want to try to change you. They want to try to mold you into this person. It's like, bro, you don't gotta mold me. You can just go find that person. And I feel like at this age, if I'm talking to a woman and she's trying to mold me into something, not and, and not like, if you give me a little game to better myself, that's appreciated. You know what I'm saying? But if you trying to make me fit into this mold of what you want as a man, and I'm not that person, then you not my person. And I think we got to start recognizing that as men, because sometimes we'll get with these women that look good, they got great bodies, and we'll try to fit that mold of what the type of man she want, right? And get uncomfortable, and we can't even be ourselves. And now you looking like, have you ever heard people say, man, oh, he a shell of himself? That's what ended up happening to a lot of men. Like, you just end up not being who you are. You ain't the fun-loving guy that you was, that was laid back and chill. You just walking around like a zombie. You know what I'm saying? Follow behind this woman. And I think we just got to be honest with each other when it comes to stuff like that.
Right. I mean, I agree, bro. I mean, uh, it's to a point now, bro, where you know, I mean, men aren't men anymore, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it, niggas arguing, niggas, you know what I'm saying, beating on women, uh, killing themselves behind so much stress, bro. Like, bro, get busy doing stuff, bro. Find a hobby, man. Like this is my hobby, bro. Like, doing this podcast is a hobby of mine. And if a person not supporting that hobby, bro, they don't need to be with me, because I got a passion for it. At this point, it's a passion. You know what I'm saying? But, there's a bunch of obstacles that we have had. You know what I'm saying? Especially being, put on probation and all other stuff. But at the same time, bro, it's all learning and being focused. You adjust to what you what you have going on, and that's the same way with life. You got to adjust to your obstacles, and you can't let certain situations get you to the point to where you have lost yourself, and that's where men have to get back to men. You know what I'm saying? I know I say all the time on this podcast. Um, I seen my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like be a strong man in my life. I never seen him fold or be weak. He just overcame obstacles. You know, me. You know what I'm saying? Going through a divorce. My brother going through divorce. You know what I'm saying? Like the times have changed to where okay, we got to figure out how to get back to the bare basics of being men. And one of those things is taking back what's yours, and that's your word. That's your balls in your word. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, am I making sense?
No, you making a lot of sense, JJ. And I hear, um, I think you hit the nail on the head. Men gotta get back to being men. You know what I mean? Being able to tell a woman the truth. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of men find themselves in situations in which they're working on something. They're on their grind, and they'll meet a woman, and she wants to take a trip. She wants to do this. She wants to do that. And all that's doing it for that man is interrupting his process. You know what I mean? That's just causing interruptions in his process. It's gonna prolong him getting to where he wants to be. You know what I mean? I tell a lot of dudes in their 20s, the dude you're gonna be in your 30s is nothing like the guy you are now. And I tell men in their 30s, the guy that they are now ain't gonna be nothing like the dude they're gonna be in their 40s. You know what I mean? They're gonna be on a whole nother playing field. You know what I mean? But it takes time to get there. You know what I mean? But running into people who gonna throw wrenches in your path, you know what I mean? Hey, if you want to if you want to be in a situation with me where you're gonna have to keep this pace. That ain't doing nothing but interrupting your process. And the quicker you tell her, hey baby, I'm not on that type of time. You know what I mean? I'm working on something right now. Now either you're gonna respect that and we're gonna move on, you're gonna support me in that effort. And when that time comes in which we could do all these lavish things, we wanna celebrate them then. But if you can't be on the ride that long, maybe we're not compatible right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe we're
Equally
not
yoked.
equally yoked. Women up there, they'll throw some daggers at you and say, "Oh, well, you just need to level up," and why you can't move like this. Take it with a grain of salt, man, because you're working on something. You know what I mean? And that should
Yeah.
be a big sign to you that that's not your person. You know what I mean? If she can't understand that, hey, you're working on something right now, it's gonna take time for you to get there, then that she's definitely not your person. But the most important thing is because some women would actually stick with you through that process. The biggest thing is just being truthful and honest with her and let her know where you at. I see that's a lot of things. That's one of the things a lot of men struggle with. Because they want to be that guy. They want to be that guy that she wants right there in the moment. You know what I mean? But sometimes that guy's not that type of guy ain't realistic to where you're at now. You know what I mean? And it's gonna take time for you to get there. You know what I mean? And if she's not willing to give you the patience and understanding to allow you to get to that point, then I mean, you're gonna find yourself shooting for the stars and with her and landing flat every time because you're just not ready for where she wants you to be at. But I think it's important for you to be honest with her at the same time. You know. I think that's one of the. I mean, I struggled with that for a minute. I wanted to be that guy. So I would overextend myself temporarily to be that guy. When I look back on, it, it's like, man, I was just wasting money, time, and everything that I didn't have to waste during that time, and I could have put it toward all the energy and toward where I was trying to go. But I just didn't want to tell her that, hey, baby, I'm just not there yet. I had to learn it the hard way. So I just encourage guys, just be honest with these women. Tell them where you're at. If they can't understand that, then what do they say? Rid them a good night. Because this ain't gonna work.
Yeah. What you think about that, Drew? Talk to me, man. Cause I'm getting some good feedback, Brent, from from our viewers right now, man. And they saying that what you saying is on point.
I definitely think when it comes to relationships, right? You, I think Brent said a couple shows ago, man. You got to be in a place for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mentally in a place. What I'm learning now is financially, you got to be in a good place as well. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you got to be rich, but you got to be in a place where, like, let's say I got a house and I meet a woman, we start dating, and we just start to live together. I want to be in the position to be able to, if something happened, I know I could take care of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I could give her the option to go 50-50, or I just take care of whatever because I already been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or just having my credit and all that stuff in order. So let's just say we do get married, we can buy a house, no issues. You know what I'm saying? I know on my end, I'm Gucci. I want to make sure she Gucci on her end. It's just different things I think that you kind of can or should be prepared for when it comes to a relationship. I think you should have the streets out of your system. You know what I'm saying? I think you should be like, all right, man, I'm done with the streets. I'm done with the partying. I'm done with talking to multiple women. The woman that I meet, that everything's going good, it's organic, it's natural chemistry and all that stuff. This is the person that I'm gonna focus on. And being honest and being upfront and saying the things that you want out of this relationship and different things that you want to do to help this relationship grow. I think just being yourself, not letting nobody put you in a box. All of those things are vitally important, man. Just letting the other person know, look, man, I want peace. I want a healthy relationship. I want to be able to communicate with you. I want to be able to do all these things, whatever it takes to work towards those things. You know what I'm saying? We are not perfect. We gonna make mistakes, but put yourself in the best position to thrive in that relationship. And you want somebody that want to do the same. You know what I mean? So all of those things, everything Brent said, is vitally important when it comes to the relationship. But I think honesty, being honest with yourself, and also being honest with the person that you want to be with is vitally important. Those are main things that are important. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't honest, it's always gonna continue to go the same way. I think it is like a snowball effect. Once you tell that one lie, you're gonna keep lying, keep lying, keep lying. Or if you cheat one time and you don't get caught, you're gonna get caught eventually. You know what I mean? It's like even with the cheating thing, like people say they cheat, but they still love that person. But do you truly love a person you cheated on? You know what I'm saying? You stepped outside the relationship to be with somebody else. So do you really value what you have in front of you? Like those are things to think about. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like if you are a cheater, right, relationship ain't for you. Like why even break somebody's heart and go down that road? You know what I'm saying? You might as well wait till you get all of it out your system and then find your person. But I do think, like JJ said, man, as men, we gotta stay busy. We gotta stay focused. And I think a lot of times, man, when you focus on like what we got here, like with the podcast, if we focusing on this, right? As men, we focusing on this podcast, putting our energy into that or whatever, putting our energy into bettering ourselves. Those type of women that we want, they gonna come. They gonna see you focus. They gonna see the ambition. They gonna see, oh, this man working hard. You gonna start attracting the women that you want. I think when you just out here doing whatever, you got a whatever mentality, being lazy and stuff like that, you gonna attract a certain type of woman, and it probably ain't the woman that you want. So I feel like if you putting your focus into something or putting your focus into bettering yourself or becoming a better man, you'll probably end up attracting those women that you want because your attitude will change, your energy will change, all of those different things will change. It'll be in a positive direction.
For sure, man. Y'all boys, y'all boys dropping these gems, bro. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, we we were talking about something yesterday. Um, Man, I forgot what the guy asked a question about something, and I said, and we got to start using this word too, guys. This this word is called, you know what I'm saying, maturity. We got to start using this word more in today's society. Maturity, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get mature, bro, there's a lot of stuff that you don't even want to even deal with no more. And and sometimes, bro, you know what I'm saying, the hardest thing you can do will probably be the best thing you can do. And that's just be upfront with a person about how you feel. And, you know, uh, being mature keeps you focused on things that are important. I don't want to talk about partying all day. I don't want to talk about taking trips all day. Bro, that's you know, and it has nothing to do with age. Because it's a lot of focused people in their 20s, 30s that are into building. And if you a man or a woman out there that hasn't built nothing and your focus is on having fun, then later on in life you're gonna wish that you had took these necessary steps. Because me and my friends that light skinned guy that look like Drake, we talk about building. We talk about building a financial plan for our future. And he has helped me, and I have listened, and I have took that step. And we talked about this last year, right, Brent?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And it took me a whole year to jump on it. And I feel like I wasted time last year. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, I wasn't focused last year. I had a lot going on. I wasn't really focused. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot going on that that's kept my focus from that that plan that me and this young man talked about. But but I put the action, and hopefully God will bless
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, maturity is one of those things that keeps you focused, man. Keeps you focused. And we're gonna have a real show. We're gonna start having some real shows. Like, we're gonna talk about some real stuff.
Right, right.
Because focus, man, is one thing that adults have to start doing. Because everybody look at these lifestyles. Everybody look at what they friends doing. Bro, if you got single friends out there, yeah, they can party all day. They can travel all day. but if you really trying to get down to the nitty gritty of life, and 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 you haven't built nothing, and your savings account is going toward trips, and you ain't investing in nothing, what are you really doing here?
Right,
You gonna keep on living, you gonna keep on living from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, bro. We done all done that before, bro. We don't all have $40, $50 in our account, and we don't get paid until 3, 4 days
right,
from now. Like, who wants to live like that,
right,
bro? So you learn from those things, and if you can tell somebody, bro, sister, brother, whoever you is, you gotta. you gotta you gotta change the way you're doing things. And you're not trying to little boy a person or little girl a person. You're really trying to tell them to help them. And if they don't want to listen, bro, whether you're in a relationship with them, whether you're a friend, whatever case may be, they ain't the right people you need to have around you.
Right. I think one of the things maturity allows you to do, like you just did, JJ, is you can reflect on situations and kind of understand this is what I could have did better. You know what I mean? And I think it's important people do that. You know, not only when it comes to business ventures, but in their relationships. You know what I mean? And not only to realize those things, but communicate to the person. You know what? I maybe had dropped the ball right here. You know, I mean, I should have listened to you right then. And it's important having a partner that's not willing to say, "Hey, yeah, I told you so." You know what I mean? You never listen to me, but rather than someone say, "I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got to this point where you understood what I was trying to say then." You know what I mean? And I think, when you talk about maturity, I think a person who's really working with the spirit, that spirit, they communicate different. You know what I mean? They're more, they're more calm in their approach to things. You know what I mean? They're not so so rawed up to prove their point or for someone to hear them. You know what I mean? They're more in a space where they're willing to take in and challenge thoughts and whatever the case may be. I think that's where maturity plays a major role in relationship. Having two people who are highly mature. You know what I mean? And they're able to listen to each other. Not shit on each other when they're wrong, you know what I mean, and have a conversation, and reflect on situations, and and talk about, hey, this is where we missed it at, you know what I mean. And when both people understand that, both people in line with that, you got something cooking there. You got something good, and so you will rarely find a situation in which you and a person are able to talk to each other, reflect on situations, and you know talk about where you messed up at, what they, situations like that. And, I think that's very important to a relationship. And one thing that stops people from being mature is pride. You know what I mean? Not being willing to say, I didn't get this right. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's very important. Not, we think we're doing the other person a solid by coming to them saying that, hey, I think I was wrong right here. I just want to let you know that. You know what I mean? We think we're doing them a solid. No, we're doing ourselves a solid because we're growing in that moment. You know what I mean? And that shows that we're valuing all the relationships around you. And I think any successful person will tell you that you gotta value the relationships around you, especially the good ones. You know what I mean? Because that's what's gonna catapult you to wherever you're trying to go in life.
Hey man, bro, bro, you speaking some real shit, bro. I don't know if it's the Uncle Nearest or what, bro, but the gods of Uncle Nearest have come down on Brent's head, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, that's what life is about, bro. It's about building, man, and um, I think a lot of people have put themselves in certain, what I'm saying, predicaments where you know they they have to try to um, always mesh and mold to the person that they're with and leave themselves unhappy, stranded out there, and that's not good, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think one of those movies that teach us maturity, JJ, and how maturity affects our relationships. I don't know if y'all remember that movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. You know what I mean? But
That's my favorite movie of
right,
all time,
so they
bro.
sit up in that prison and like every little situation they would stop talking to each other because both of them were so full of pride that they couldn't. extend that olive branch. And they went years knowing that they missed each other company. They missed each other. But them surviving was based off their friendship. You know what I mean? And at the end you realize they regretted everything, all those little mishaps that they had that wasn't even worth it. It just took for one of them to be mature enough to have a conversation and say, you know what? Well, hey man, come on, let's just have a conversation. Let's get through this.
It took them so many, but bro, it took them till they became old men. And see, I just got a text from one of my good friends that's watching the podcast right now that stated it's all in God's timing. I think that's so important. But sometimes, bro, God be trying to speak to us, and God tells us things, and we ignore it. You see what I'm saying? And but when you mature and you be like, you know what? Hey, fuck it. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel right now. And I don't give a shit how you feel about it afterwards. But this is what it is. Cause you know what it is. Because God is whispering in your ear and saying, if you can't if this you're gonna be in deal with this for too damn long. Cause you're gonna waste your years again. Like I said, Brent talked about something with me last year. And I let other things distract me from getting to the money. But I listened to him the week before last and I put action into it. Cause guess what? I want something different right now.
Right.
So it was God's timing. And also Brent came at a time where I needed that boost. And I wasn't gonna let nothing distract me from handling my business. Same with this podcast. This is hard work. People think that it's all about us just getting on here, bro, and being silly. But bro, if people understood how many phone calls I have to call Brent, bro, every day. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, JJ?
It's work, bro.
It remind me of this story.
But
My bad,
let me
my
just land
bad,
this
my
right
bad.
quick. Let me just land this. It's work, but it's also a passion of mine. And I know it's a passion of Brent, and I feel like it's a passion of Drew. Me and Drew ain't never had the conversation before, but me and Brent had. And I think the passion speak for itself. And I'll be goddamn if I let anything stop that. You feel what I'm saying? Go ahead, Brent.
JJ, hearing you talk remind me of a story that's in the Bible. You know what I mean, about Moses and when he was leading the Israelites throughout the desert. You know what I mean, and you've been in the desert before. It could play tricks on your mind. You know what I mean, and that's what happened to the Israelites. They traveling through the desert. You got the heat. They're traveling with women and kids. Where they really start hurting at is when they start getting bit by the snakes. You know what I mean? Because there's plenty of scorpions and snakes all around the desert. You know what I mean? So they start getting bit by the snakes. But Moses went up to the mountaintop and he spoke to God. You know what I mean? And while he was up there, what he did, he took a snake and he bronzed it and he put it on his staff and he shined it down there where you so the Israelites are looking up, you know what I mean? And he's shining that bronze snake down at him. You know what I mean? And they were trying to avoid it because it was shining so bright in their eyes. You know what I mean? But what God was trying to tell them, and I think what God be trying to tell us, you know what I mean? God gives you the answers. A lot of time we're trying to avoid what the answer is. You know what I mean? That debt collector that's calling you, that damn, that job you won't put in the application to. There's something out there that we're avoiding. And my what I'm trying to say is you gotta direct if you want to know where what you're not doing right. It's when you have to put the attention on what you're trying to avoid. You know what I mean? You gotta put the intention on what you're trying to avoid. And whatever in your life you're trying to avoid, that's where you need to focus your attention. That's what God is telling you need to focus your attention on. You know what I mean? As soon as you focus your attention, soon as they were able to see that light, they seen that what we have a problem with is the snakes. You know what I mean? We gotta do something about these snakes and these scorpions. We gotta find certain measures to take, or to get through this desert. You know what I mean? We gotta focus on what we're trying to avoid. You know what I mean? Or we're gonna all die together. You know what I mean? So I just think that God gives us the signs. He gives us the answers. You know what I mean? We make it a job to avoid those signs and answers because we don't want to deal with them at the time. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have with a loved one. Maybe it's somebody that's in your family you ain't talked to in years. You know what I mean? But that relationship is bothering you. As soon as you had that conversation, you're gonna feel like a big weight got lifted off you. You know what I mean? And you can move forward in life in a more freer way. You know what I mean? I hope I'm just not rambling or whatever the case, but I just think that when life is beating you up and you're trying to find the next step you need to take, you need to focus your attention on what you're trying to avoid. And whatever you're trying to avoid, God telling you that's the next step you need to take. You need to figure this out before you're ready for the blessing I'm really gonna give you. But you're gonna have to figure this out first. You know,
Hey, hey, Brent, I'm gonna tell you something funny, bro. Cause what, boy, hey, somebody just texted me and said Pastor Brent on here tonight, bro. I'm gonna tell you something funny, bro. Snowfall, the last episode, Jerome, the whole, pretty much the show. This character, Uncle Jerome, it's kind of deep because if y'all haven't watched it, y'all need to watch this character and look at how this individual like took on doing something that he really that really wasn't in him. I mean, he came from it, but he just wanted to do this right here. But he got with this woman that was super bad for him. And he fell in love with that. He fell in love with it to the point to where he would turn against his own family. And he tried his best to look at things and try to still keep a focused family thought process, even when he felt like at the point he was fighting against two evils. And he did this one last thing. After he sat there and said he's out of here, he did this one last thing. And this this episode was beautifully written. He did this one last thing. And he made this one last pact to this woman. Hey, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I don't want this no more. I don't want this for my life. I don't want this for you. But if you want to stay here, I'm out of here.
JJ.
and she, bro, love is a
Right.
motherfucker, bro.
Right.
Because even when he died in the name of love, bro.
But you know what? I saw that too, but I kind of question her love for Jerome, bro, because
Drew,
because
my point, Drew.
Jerome, when Jerome was talking to her and he told her, "Look, we ain't got to do this no more. I want you to go with me," and she was like, she was like, basically, she bypassed what Jerome was saying about him and her, and was talking about the business, bro. And she
Right.
was like, when we do business, everybody respects you. And they just nod at me or they lick their lips or they do this. The power of what they was doing was more important to her than her following Jerome to go to Jamaica or wherever he was going. And I thought that was crazy because, and I might get some flack for this, in that dynamic, right? It shows you that a lot of black men have an unconditional love for women, right? But sometimes women's the women that they're with, the love for they have for their men is conditional, and it almost
Hold on, hold on. Don't you ever bypass that 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 bar right there. That's a bar.
it, I ain't.
That's a
That's not every
bar.
relationship, but some relationships, man. I just know for men, we love unconditionally. It don't matter what the circumstance, bro. We can be.
If we love a
We
woman,
love them.
Drew, if we love a woman, we'll do we'll go to the end of the earth for her. We
We will
would die.
die for
We
her.
would
Exactly.
kill. We would do anything for that woman because that's how we're conditioned.
Right. And you know what else, JJ and Drewski? What I found beautiful about that episode, because we're focused on the conversation. What was his chick's name? Nelly or something like that? I forgot her name.
Her name is dang, I forgot her name.
I can't. But he had a. If y'all remember, Jerome had a conversation with Saint, and he had a conversation with her. He had the conversation with Saint at the restaurant. You know what I mean? At the diner.
And his
And,
sister.
and
And his sister.
Jerome was the angel on everyone's shoulder. He was that last person that tells you, hey, you're going down the wrong path. You're
Louis.
about Louis. Yeah, he had a conversation with Louis. He had a conversation with Saint. Jerome was a symbol of that angel that's on your shoulder, that's giving you that last warning for before you completely sell your soul for something that's not worth it. He was their conscience talking to them. You know what I mean? He approached Lou. He said, Lou, let's just go to Jamaica. You know what I mean? And if you don't do it for nothing else, do it because you love me. You know what I mean? He sat down with Saint and said, "How did I mess up?" He said, where did I go wrong?" You know what I mean? We at each other's throats. Where did I raise you to become this bitch ass nigga? You know what I mean? Who just own it for the money? You know what I mean? That's in there. He said, at what point do you start to realize you're selling your soul? You know what I mean? And he had a conversation with Saint's mom too, which I think she's pretty much allowing, but she still wants some payback for her husband. But she's trying to tell him, hey, we're about to give up what's the most important thing to us, and that's family. You know what I mean? He was trying to warn everybody. You know what I mean? And sometimes
Bro,
that was his cross to bear, and he went out in the name of love because I think what his symbol was, he was trying to show that there's something more important than this goddamn money. You know what I mean? There's something more important that we should be fighting for other than this goddamn money. We at each other throats, and for what? Goddamn money. You know what I mean?
bro, but you know what, Brent, and you right. But I'm gonna tell you, man, we look at that episode as a drug show, right? But let's take the drug thing out of it and let's look at life in itself. Because really that episode was teaching a lesson on sticking to your morals and your beliefs. Sticking to what your heart tells you to do. And if you question your heart in a decision that could drastically change your life, you're gonna end up doomed. And Jerome kept questioning his heart. Because I'm gonna tell you, when he sat down in front of that store drinking that liquor, y'all probably missed this part. And he was drinking that liquor, and the man walked past him and looked back. He said, "Nigga, what the fuck you
Mhm.
looking at?" And he had a tear come out of the eye. He was unhappy. He was unhappy. At that point, he said, "You know what? This ain't even me no more.
JJ,
Like I'm an
god damn,
animal."
JJ. And
Jerome
now,
bent.
JJ, not only that, remember he took his car to the shop and he gave the dude the money. He said, "Hey man, I can't take this." And he told that guy, "You need it more
Needed
than I
more than
do,
me.
because money is just fucking my world up." You know what I mean? Like, you know, this is what I done slaved over, and now it's worthless to me because everything I love, I done lost it. You know what I mean? You need this money, I don't. You know what I mean? This money is just, you know what I mean? Jerome, he was the conscience of the show. He was the angel on everybody's shoulder. And I think because, you know, Jerome with the Jerry Curl stuff, people missed that. He was the angel of the show. He the one who
But
never, yeah.
I was gonna say it really Jerome character really is deeper than that. Cause if y'all look, I don't know if it was last season or season
Way
4,
deeper.
bro, when he had that record shop, when he had the stereo shop, bro. I guarantee you, if that shop when it got shot up and they did with it, bro, Jerome would have been left the game, bro. Cause he even said it to his boy. He was telling his boy when he was getting the car fixed, he was telling him about the record. He said, "Man, I used to have a record shop." Because his boy
True.
was on the streets with him. His boy got this, you know what I'm saying? And in that moment when Jerome was talking to his homeboy, he kind of was a little jealous. If you listen to him, he was a little jealous. Cause he like, man,
True.
you got the wife, you got the kids. I got the wife. I can't have no kids. It
You missing a big point of that though, Drew. You missing a big point of that, Drew. You remember when Lou wanted to go to she wanted to expand the business down to
oh
Tennessee?
yeah, yeah.
Jerome said, "Hey, don't you think this is getting a little bit too
Right.
big?"
Jerome was the conscience of the
You know
show.
what I'm saying? Don't you remember he
Yeah.
said that? Like, don't you think this is little? And she was like, "Baby, no, this and that, whatever."
Jerome was the conscience of the show, man. He was that whisper you get right before you do something bad. You know what I mean?
And not just him though. What the other guy name was that he been in a lot of these gangster movies, but he got the slick back hair with the
Oh,
ponytail.
Scully.
Yeah.
Scully. Scully is just like Jerome. They don't want to do it to be gangster. They feel like they're doing it because they helping the people that they love. Because Scully had a conscience. And y'all remember this one piece right here, man. This one piece. When he gave Jerome that bird, and he gave Lou that bird, that little paper bird, and Jerome put his in his pocket. Lou walked outside and threw hers on the ground. The camera went straight to that bird on the ground. Right then and there, I knew something was gonna happen, bro.
And not only that, JJ, when it came to Scully, and despite how psychopath, crazy damn Scully was, he was very spiritual. You know what I mean? And I remember his boys turned on him, right? And like his boys betrayed him, and they were trying to do a deal with Franklin them, and they needed a sign to know that they could took care of Scully. You know what I mean? And I think what they gave the guy was something that it was of his daughters or something like that, something that belonged to his daughter. And
Oh
right
yeah,
then,
yeah,
because they knew Scully, they knew that they must have got Scully. You know what I mean? Because this meant a lot to Scully. Not no money, not no fancy car or something, but something that reminded him of his daughter. You know what I mean? So they knew that Scully, no matter what was going on, he would never sacrifice this. You know what I mean? They had to kill him to get this off him. You know what I mean? So, and to me, just that shows the heart and the soul of the show. You know what I mean? Jerome, Scully, they were like the conscience of the show. You know what I mean? Telling, in their own
They were.
cryptic way, trying to tell people, hey, this not what it is. You know what I mean? Like we done made enough money. What we trying to do here? You know what I mean? If we do anything past this point, now we're selling our soul, and we'll never be able to get that back. Once you make a deal with the devil, you never get it back. You get it back on his terms. You know what I mean? So that's what I felt like Jerome was trying to do, especially in this last season. He was the conscience of the show, speaking to these characters. And like, look, Louis had already made up her mind. Franklin had already made up his mind. You know what I mean? And Jerome was the one trying to pull him back in. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna just say this though, Brent. I think that if you look at Franklin's character in the last episode, the love for family
yeah,
came back.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that the love never left. I think Franklin was just hurt because he was betrayed, but he was betrayed behind the the core of the hurt, which was
Yeah,
Lou, because Lou went and got that plug behind Jerome back and Franklin back,
she ain't tell Jerome until this last
and
episode.
until it was down. So again, bro, we about to wrap this up, but when you look at life, y'all, as you get older, like me and Brennan in our 40s, I think Drew 42, we start learning shit that we should have, that we knew a long time ago. But as we get older and we start thinking, man, if I would have just took a opportunity to just really pay attention to what's going on, I could have been farther in life. Cause as men, we're dumb as hell, ladies. We are dumb, and we gonna do stupid shit. But if we love you, we go we gonna walk to the end of the damn earth for your ass. And that's real. But anyway, uh, Drew, what you got, man?
Man, I really enjoyed the show, man. I think we need to have more talks like this. Um, I agree, JJ, man. I think I feel like in my mind is like 10 years or 5 years behind my actions, if that makes sense. Like I'll do something, and then 5 years later, I'll be like, dang, you know, I'll reflect on some stuff that happened when I was young, and I'm like, dang, man. Now I'm thinking about it. I could have maneuvered this way, and I'm like, I wish I would have thought about it like that then. So I think that's when that maturity um, kicks into play, and you get older and you start reflecting on different things. And I think it's a good thing when you do that self reflection because it'll help you maneuver moving forward, right? Maneuver in the right way. Um, yeah, women, we are dumb, but I do agree with JJ, man. We find the one that we love, we willing to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes for some of us, that ain't always the best thing, but we will we will die for you. We
Right.
will do whatever it takes. We're gonna protect you at all costs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna love you. We're gonna love you with everything we got. You know what I'm saying? So um I just feel like if I'm gonna say this, if you with a guy, he a good dude, and yeah, he messing up, man. Sometimes you gotta offer a little bit of grace, um, and open that communication up and talk to him, and just kind of pray that things will change around. I think sometimes a lot of dudes ain't giving that grace, and so some good situations will end early, just because it's like, oh, he like the rest of them. Maybe he not. Maybe he just being a man. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you need to talk to him more instead of, you know what I'm saying, uh, exiting the situation early. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's vice versa for guys too. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you gotta communicate a little bit more to the woman that you with, and talk to them, and make things be known. Don't be scared to explain things or say what you like and what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I think communication is very key. Um, but yeah, that's all I had to say, man. Follow us on all social media platforms at Sex Cigar Lounge. Make sure y'all subscribe to that YouTube channel and click that bell for the notifications, man. We're gonna be coming at y'all with some great topics. Back to you, JJ.
For sure. B Dog, what up?
Man, I think we had a great show tonight. I'm really glad we got into the Snowfall show because I think if you watch the movie, you're like, oh, another gangster show, but when you really pay attention to it, man, you see all the lessons of life that John Singleton was trying to send to the people. You know what I mean? And as I felt like Jerome was a consciousness of that show, trying to whisper in everybody's ear, hey, you know, what matters? What matters? Well, that's what we need to focus on. It's family. You know what I mean? That's what really matters. And we need to stop worrying about a lot of things that we're trying to that we're seeking with our ego. You know what I mean? And pay attention to what matters. You know what I mean? And I think every that's what that in the Bible talks about the prayer that you say before you go in bed. But what you're really trying to do is release yourself of those transgressions against other people or those bad, those relationships that you don't like where they're going, you know what I mean? And go to bed with a whole mind, you know what I mean? And I think that I think every man has a soul, and it's important that we pay attention to what God's trying to tell us. But what God's trying to tell us is what we're trying to avoid. Just like the Israelites were trying to do with Moses going through the desert. They're trying to avoid the things that's causing them the most pain. You know what I mean? But that's where you gotta put all your attention at. What really matters, your family. Anything else, anything like I think what a lot of people will find out on what you're trying to avoid on the other side of that is where you're trying to go. You know what I mean? So stop trying to avoid it, confront it, you know what I mean, and find out why is this in my way? You know what I mean? Figure it out. And once you get past it, you'll realize you're at where you were trying to go. You know what I mean? And I think that's very important for us to understand, and always listen to the signs. Always, you know, we make bad decisions in life, and everybody's gonna make them, you know what I mean? But as you get older, as me, JJ, and Drewski all done admitted, you know what I mean, those signs start hitting a little bit harder. You know what I mean? You start listening to them a little bit more because that it's not there for nothing. You know what I mean? It's something that you gotta pay attention to and figure out, you know what I mean? But man, a great show, man. I really enjoyed talking to y'all brothers tonight. And follow Sexy Cigar Lounge on all social media platforms. We're gonna have more conversations like this. And I think a lot of men could benefit from. So join the movement, follow us on all social media platforms so you can get the alerts and rock with us. And that's all I gotta say, fellas, man. I enjoyed talking to y'all tonight.
Hey man, we need to clip some of these jewels that's been getting dropped tonight, bro. And I'm glad that I brought up the Snowfall series because I actually wanted to do a show or review, but I was told that that wasn't the last show. So we need to start, you know what I'm saying, getting into, you know what I'm saying, grown up shit. You know what I'm saying, being mature, um, right, right decision making ideas. You know what I'm saying, building. But hey man, good show, man. Hey, shout out to everybody that tuned in again. This is our backup channel, but we will be back on our regular channel. We are building content so we can upload to the channel. Uh, and we won't stop, man. I appreciate everybody. Like everybody said, we're gonna keep on grinding it out, man. So peace out until the next episode. Stay tuned.